Recently, I deleted my entire Diablo 2 single-player account. Every character, every mule, every item. And honestly, I think I needed it. When it comes to Diablo, I'm a bit of a hoarder. Worthless items I convince myself I'll eventually use in some future build. Spoiler alert, I never do. Magic finding is my favorite part of Diablo 2, but eventually, all that clutter started making the best part of the game feel stressful and overwhelming. So I decided to start over. Completely. Fresh start, fresh character, fresh Holy Grail journey. Naturally, we started with the Sorceress. But there's a problem. This build kind of sucks right now. It's functional, yeah, but we are nowhere near farming hell comfortably. I'm struggling to keep myself alive, let alone a mercenary. Farming is slow, it's sketchy, and definitely not efficient. So before we can start building multiple characters, before the account starts to really grow, before the real Grail journey begins, this Sorceress needs to become a real Magic Find character. Right now we're running a Hydra Fire Ball Sorceress, mostly because it's a build I've never actually played before, figured it would be a little bit of fun, something new. The gear we are rocking, it's decent, but it's definitely not going to cut it long term. There are some massive upgrades we desperately need. And eventually, a ridiculous amount of high runes. So that's the goal. Take this struggling sorceress and slowly turn her into the foundation of an entire single-player account. With our damage and survivability in a pretty rough spot, Loa Karast felt like the obvious place to start. Players 8, super chests, high rune potential. In theory, this should have been the perfect place to farm. I started these runs with pretty high hopes, but with every chest pop I could slowly feel my optimism fading away. Every time I heard that sweet rune drop audio, I'd sit up in my chair and start squinting at the screen, hoping every ith rune was actually an ist rune. Eventually, the runs just started blending together completely. Teleport, open chest, golden gems, teleport, open some more chests, more gold, and gems. And somehow, despite these runs taking like 20 seconds, I still managed to spend half my time running back to the waypoint. Granted, I know I did not do this in the most efficient fashion, but still, I genuinely think I spent more time in town than actually farming. After a while of finding nothing but gold and gems, I started trying to convince myself that gold and gems were actually good drops. And at one point, yeah, I even died doing this. Which honestly tells you everything you need to know about the current state of our sorceress. Now, to be fair, in 4 hours, we did find a few decent items. Just nothing that was actually going to change the trajectory of the character. After 4 hours of Lower Karast, my brain desperately needed to see something actually hit the ground. So I started bouncing around Terra zones for a bit, trying to farm literally anything useful. At this point, the character was stuck in this awkward middle ground where technically we could farm hell, just not very comfortably. Just felt off. Damage wasn't great, survivability wasn't great, and every farming run felt way more stressful than it probably should have. After a while, it felt pretty obvious where we needed to be. Mephisto. Mephisto on a fresh account is basically therapy. great loot table. The moat trick makes it easy, even for our sorceress. While not every drop is amazing, Mephisto will drop a set or unique item frequently, which helps our Grail even if they aren't upgrades. But eventually, I knew we would break through. After finding success with Mephisto, figured maybe it was time to give LK runs another shot. I do realize it takes a ton of runs to find high runes, but I was just too mentally weak at this point. But hey, at least I found more gold and gems. After all the lower Karast pain, the mediocre drops, the gold, the gems, and the slow descent into madness, I'd say this was a pretty successful start. We managed to knock 3 items off our hit list. The runs are faster, the farming feels smoother, and the character finally feels like it has direction. Are we anywhere near finished? Not even remotely. We still need a lot of gear and a stupid amount of high runes. But honestly, That's what makes starting fresh in Diablo 2 so addicting. Every upgrade matters, every drop has purpose, and every farming session feels like progress. If you play Diablo 2, then you know how hard it can be to find the gear you actually need. And honestly, I think that's what makes the grind so rewarding in the first place. And I wouldn't have it any other way.